This is actually take two. I actually hit the power button instead of the stop button. I don't know if this camera saves files when I do that, so oh well, didn't lose anything, just a little intro. We got you out here at the garage. It's about 38, 39 degrees, a little chilly. We're not going to be working on any cars for a little while. It's, what, February 7th, so it's a little cold out, and actually this week is going to be cold. That's why I go out in the garage and start working on stuff. Get out of the warm house. We're going to start a little modeling project. So something a little bit different. We're going to try to do this one. Actually got two. But we'll go ahead and flip you around, get you onto the workbench, and show you what we're going to work on. So here we go. Alrighty, we are going to do some HO scale modeling. We're going to start with this one. This is a little preview. This is not what we're going to be working on this go around. This is an EMD GP30, I believe it is. Yeah, it is not a powered HO scale locomotive. It's unpowered. Just got the metal frame, a couple of unpowered trucks that snap in. We're going to be painting this one up, detailing it, and using it as a display model. All the handrails and everything are underneath, so that should be kind of fun. There's some couplers on it, and we're going to paint that up in the Spokane, Portland, and Seattle livery. Pretty simple paint job. I did one earlier, did an RS3. I don't have the paints out here, but I did it with a rattle can. I might try that with this one, but I also found some bottles of actual correct color. I don't know if they're any good, but I got to dig my airbrush out for that. So stay tuned. We'll be messing with this one along with the other locomotive that we will be working on here. This I've had floating around for a little while. This is a Bachmann. This is an EMD GP30 diesel locomotive. Get her out of the box here. It's an undecorated, as you can see. No paint. Again, all the handrails and everything are underneath. You can see it's been sitting around for a little while, a little discolored. Pretty nice unit. It's got nice handrails, hand grabs on it. So I don't know if you can see in there, get you oriented right. It's got figures inside there. So I'm not going to paint this up in an actual locomotive railroad's livery. I'm going to make my own. But we're going to make a change to this one. The front end looks a little tweaked. I just noticed. Looks like it's been. She got some damage on the front there. If it's showing, those steps are a little bent on the corner here. So, oh well. Hopefully it doesn't affect. Yeah. Huh. I had a little incident with this thing. So, anyway, we're going to paint this up in a livery that I'm going to design. I'm going to use probably the same colors as the SP&S that we're going to do the other locomotive in. But SP&S basically just ran a single stripe down the side. I'm going to do more of a V configuration in the front, and I've got a couple of ideas for some paint layout, but I'm going to use the dark green and that orangish yellow or brownish yellow color. Probably won't have a road name on it or a railroad name. We'll just put a number on the cab, and then again maybe I'll just put some decals on it and letter it up for something. But yeah, it's a little, notice that's bent up. Might be able to gently heat that and bring it back, but hopefully it's anyway. But we're going to make a change to this one. It's got a high brow right here, and you know, it's kind of a classic look. These were designed by GM in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s. Those are supposed to be pretty popular, but something about that high brow just I don't know, just to me it looks little off, just to me. So what I've done, after doing some research, they did offer this in a high hood version, and I found one online. So we have to modify this piece to fit this locomotive. Luckily the cab portion just pops off. I think the nose I might have to cut off, but this should just slip in there, and you can kind of see the profile on top there. I don't know, it just kind of looks like one of those scenic cruiser buses from this era. So we're going to try it. Hopefully it works. Most of the cutting I think will be, well, most of it I'm going to try to do on this piece. I don't know if I want to try cutting this piece down to sit on top of this one, and then I can just putty around it to smooth it. I don't know yet. I don't know. Because I think this piece is part of the side sill. But anyway, I think it should be kind of fun. This is going to be a multi-day project. This is a resin cast piece. I bought it off of eBay. Need to get some detailed parts like the brake stand and whatnot there. Handrails I think could transfer over. Glass lights. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the headlights to transfer over to this one. I don't have any lenses for this, so I might be chopping up the glass that comes with this unit, which I don't remember if it's underneath here, if I got it. Yeah. So we got windows and handrails and number boards, and there's a horn. Looks like headlight pieces there. So we'll have to do some trimming and drilling and see what we can do to make it all fit. A little bit further than I've gone on a lot of these projects for model railroading, but I want to get this thing out of the box and at least get it on a display shelf. So let me see what we can do to get this thing going forward here. Okay, try to keep you in the field of view here. I actually had this off earlier and I don't remember how I did it. I don't want to pry too much, especially with big tools. Probably not even keep you in the field of view here. I got you zoomed in pretty far. Looks like a clip on the back there. There we go. So there we got the, where are we at? Got the cab off. That was simple enough. Just two clips, opposite corners. I'm gonna pull you guys back out just a little bit here. So you can see the LED up there. You can see the two highly detailed figures, engineer and the brakeman. Probably need to just pull the shell off of this thing and get it, because we're going to have to cut anyway. I don't have a real good cradle here for doing this. Usually they just separate and pull apart. I may have to get the instructions out. Oh, geez. The Master Railroader Series GP30 Diesel. That doesn't really show you much of anything on how to pull it apart. I don't see anything that's looking like screws holding the body shell on, so it should just separate. Something just clicked like I put it back on. Again, probably shouldn't use tools on this, but it's kind of starting to come. There we go. I gotta get past the guys here. They're holding on for dear life. If I lose them, I'm not too concerned. But we made it past them. So that is going to go back in the box. Probably wrap it up in the paper. Keep the dirt off of it. Otherwise it'll just go right back into the house. Single screw. Do I have a screwdriver small enough to get the board off? Yes, I do. So there goes the number board. Remember, the black portion goes on the front. Hopefully most of this has been in camera. So yes, the nose is molded on. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're going to do. Got some grab rails to pull off. I think what I'm gonna try is just take a hobby knife and I'm gonna score around the perimeter of this thing all the way around. And I could take my Dremel and cut it. Which would go a lot quicker, but it would also be a lot more destructive. And then we're going to have to trim this piece to fit. As you can see, if you can't see that lip right there, it's going to have to come off, which is no big deal. I need to remove this little portion to slip the roof back. Oh, the opposite side, yeah, same thing. It's just got a little bit of a ridge there. So, no big deal. So, let me pause you. I'm going to go try to find me a knife. And we're back. Get these screwdrivers out of the way. We're just going to move this out of the way. And then we can put that up here for now. Take the body shell. We're going to pull this nose off. And I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm not going to cut it. Well, I'm going to cut it, but I'm not going to use an electric drill. We're going to use an X-Acto knife, but we're going to do the old trick of using the back of the knife, you know. Where are we at? That's the cutting edge. We're going to use the back side, flip it over, use the point, and drag it along the line you want. And it starts to score. It takes a little bit, but makes a nice clean cut. Try not to put too much pressure and collapse anything. and because I want to keep that flat plane on the walkways to put the new nose piece on. So it's going to take me a bit of work. So I think I'm going to kick y'all over to a time lapse for this one, and probably turn the radio on too, so I got a little tunage here while I work. Go about this for a little bit. So here we go. Alrighty, pause the time lapse here, and so like I said, just using the back of the knife blade, not the sharp edge, but using the back, and you score. And it takes a little bit of time. I've been doing this for about 10 minutes. It is loose, except for this side on the bottom. It's got this recess here, so that's going to take a little bit extra work to get down in there. But what I'll do is, as I'm cutting, I'll flip it over and I'll hold it up to the light, and you can see how thin the plastic is getting, so you can kind of see, you know, areas that you might need to work on a little bit more. But everything is cut except for the bottom on this one short side here. The upper and the back is done. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Oh, just realized we're missing a panel there. Hopefully that's in the box. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera, so you guys have seen enough of this, and it'll just take me a couple of minutes. So, and yeah, we need to save some battery. So, okay, I think we're ready. Just took me half a Patsy Cline song to get that cut the rest of the way. So it's still kind of attached a little bit. So I'm going to just take the sharp edge of the knife, keep my fingers out of the way, and see if I can't just gently, there we go. We are still attached right in the very corner on the downward edge. Again, fingers out of the way. Ding! Now, somebody's probably out there saying, oh my god, by doing that you just sliced up your whole good side of the model and yada yada yada. Well, how it's showing, I think it looks pretty good to me. A little bit of damage on this side, but I can sand that out. So, little plastic, I won't call it flash, but that's pretty much what it is. Just run the knife around the edges there and get that kind of cleaned up. Just a smidge. And if we grab the new piece, we can almost, yeah, I'm going to have to trim the new piece to get around the battery boxes and whatnot, but, or actually we'll just cut those back just a smidge, and then file the roof side. I actually wasn't planning on getting this far tonight. I was just going to start this. So I think what we're going to do next, so I had a file up here. Actually, let me go hit the restroom real quick, and we'll be back and continue this. I'm going to probably file out the insides here a little bit to get the nose piece to drop down. And then we're going to have to remove a couple of bits. That one's just going to be a file job right there, I think. This one I can do the scoring and cut to get it to fit nice and flush. So, but it's also raining outside and we're expecting some snow tonight, so I want to go see what it's doing. So I'll be back in a little bit. And we're back for more action. Took a nice little break there, warmed up for a second. So, yeah, a little bit of history on the locomotive here. So, you know, we can geek out on it a little bit. I got it written up here. So the EMD GP30 was built by the Locomotive division of General Motors. Yes, those of you that don't follow trains, GM used to build diesel locomotives. I don't remember where this one was manufactured. They had a big plant in LaGrange, Illinois. The unit weighed 245,000 pounds. So, I mean, what is that? I'm trying to do math here. I'm not good at math. 120 tons, roughly. 125 tons. That's a pretty hefty unit. But you got to get that power to the rails. So she had a 16-cylinder V16 configuration, 2 banks of 8 in a V configuration. It's a big old V16 2-stroke diesel, 567 series. I think these were the C's, which they started with A, B, and C was the last. 567 on the diesel locomotives and the big industrial engines like that. That denotes the cubic inch displacement per cylinder. So one cylinder, one piston was 567 cubic inches. That's, you know, space up and down. Yeah. Multiply that by 18. And of course, diesel locomotives, they run as being an industrial engine. They don't run at high RPM. I think like 950 RPM is max speed. So, yeah, we got a little ways to go yet. But turbocharged, so make lots of good noises. I always like being trackside when these big diesels go rolling by, especially when they're under load. Big engines sound awesome. So, we're converting this to a high short hood. Took the low short hood off. See, the reason I cut it that way is this will go in the parts box. So if I ever decide to get around to building a model railroad, you know, there's a hood that can be sitting outside a shop. We could even, you know, dent it up a little bit, like maybe it was a wreck repair or something. So, but that'll go into the parts box. Probably never get used for anything, but maybe when I get old and pass on, somebody will buy the collection and it'll actually get used for something then. So all I'm doing is filing this gap a little bit wider to get the high hood to drop down. It's hitting on both sides. We're getting there. But yeah, short hoods. So there were 908 of these built, plus 40 cabless units. So they didn't have the conductor and the engineer stands. They were just a diesel engine built on the same frame. So you would have this car body all the way up to the front. I don't even think they would put the low hood. I think it'd just be a high hood all the way up. They would be coupled to a unit with a cab, and then you could run them in series Union Pacific is the only one that bought the cabless units. Yes, I've researched this on Wikipedia. So, but Norfolk and Western and St. Louis and Southwestern railways are the only two that ran the high hoods. So they're both East Coast railroads. I'm a West Coaster. These did make their way out west. Rio Grande and West Rio Grande ran these. Western Pacific? I don't remember if Western Pacific had any. None of the railroads that I frequently model ran these. Great Northern, Northern Pacific, Spokane, Portland, and Seattle. I did not have. Did not have these. Still got a little ways to go. Being careful that I don't over sand. But I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start working on these. So I'm going to go ahead and kick y'all off. Turn the radio on. I'm going to work on this. I'm just going to do the same scoring that I did before. And then once we're done with that, we get this thing to fit, and I'll bring you back. We'll show you the final result there. And then we'll talk about the next steps, which will probably be some other time because it's getting late and I'm getting a little tired. But let me work on these off camera, and I'll be back here in a bit. Okay, well, it's getting chilly out here. My nose is running. So if you remember right, we had ourselves a low hood GP30. Now we have us a high hood GP30. A little bit of a gap there, but I should be able to take care of that. The chassis is warped a little bit. This side fits much better. Got just a little bit of a gap at the top there, but I think I can fill that no problem. But I like that. I like that. I don't know why it is. I like high hood units like this. The low hood is better for visibility, but I think that's going to look sharp. So I'm going to call that quits for now. I'm not going to glue that in just yet because I want to do a little fine tuning. But again, this front step, everything's tweaked just a little bit. So actually, if I pull that down, it seems to fit a little bit better. So but we'll be gluing that in eventually. Just need a little bit of cleanup on a few spots. So yeah, you just take your time, go slow. Should have a nice sharp blade in your knife. This is not anymore, but and you can do stuff like this and make cool HO scale models. And nope, that's gonna go good. That's gonna go good. So just got a bit of a gap back there. I'll have to probably take a real thin piece of plastic. I'm gonna glue it right to that edge there, just to bring that out just a little bit. And that yeah, just a real thin piece. And then the top profile looks pretty good. Although the cab looks like it may be a little, not quite straight, but not going to worry too much about that. Oh, I think that's going to look good. So, okay, we'll make this a two-parter, or three-part, or four-part, or whatever, but it's getting late. It's 11:30 in the evening now. I need to get my butt cleaned up and in bed. Gotta go to work in the morning. Technically in the afternoon. And yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. Stay tuned for more on this one. It's kind of fun. This is kind of fun. Gotta get my fine drill bits out. We're gonna transfer some of these grab irons over. Because it should have the same as what's on the back. I believe. I'll have to do some digging, but yeah, I see holes there, so we may have to order up some fine detail parts. Might even just see about getting some cold weather windows for this thing, but I got some ideas on how we're going to paint it. Should look pretty good. So, alrighty. I'm signing off. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next one. Bye-bye.